A very good evening to all of you. Today we got with us Dr. Bibhuti Bhusan Biswas. He is the Assistant Professor, Department of Politics and International Relations, Central University of Jharkhand. Sir, a very good evening to you also, and you are welcome to our program, Understanding Political Science through Discussions and Deliberations. Today, the discussion of our topic is, today the topic that we are going to discuss is India's Indo-Pacific strategy with special reference to Quad. So, sir, I will begin this program. And my first question to you will be, sir, why this Indo-Pacific region is important for India?
So, thank you very much, Devjanu, and I would like to thank the BIPS members and family for giving me this opportunity for today's discussion. So, first of all, I would like to thank you also for hosting this program very nicely and regularly following this program. So, thank you very much once again, and thanks to all the family members of BIPS. So you have raised a very pertinent questions. Okay, anybody is discussing about this particular topic, that is India's Indo-Pacific strategy with a special reference to Quad. So definitely it is there is a question. So what is the why this region is very important? So before going into very detailed, so we must know first that this Indo-Pacific region, it is incarnations of earlier Asia-Pacific. So you know that this particular region, that Indo-Pacific region, is strategically very, very important for India, and not only for India, it is very strategically importance for USA, Japan, Australia altogether. So, but one thing is very clear here, that is India's geostrategic locations and the Chinese involvement or increasing Chinese dominance in the regions is one of the biggest challenge for India. And on the other hand, not only for India, today China is giving a very big challenge to US dominance in the world. So on the one hand, we can see that today the trade and economy being driven by China, and on the other hand, you can see that China security perspective, US is more dominant in the whole world. So in that context, if you look at the geographical locations of these regions, so India is obviously a very in a key positions in terms of playing a major role in these particular regions. And since India there is a concept called encircling by China. So India need to expand is not only economic prosperity, the military alignment also, so that India is moving with various other countries, and India India also initiated a very big military alliances like called Milan, which is regularly happening in Malabar coast and Andaman Nicobar region. Regularly military exercises are happening to project India's military power and maritime power. And in that, it is a kind of projections of power. And since this region is very economically also very much viable, you know, that Indo-Pacific is full of minerals and other resources. So to get a control over it, or to reduce the Chinese dominance or dominance over this region, India is moving, changing its strategy in the region. So, and since it is a very economically viable, and you can see that 60% of all trade routed through South China Sea and the Indian Oceans, that makes this region very, very strategically very important.
Sir, if you highlight, if you can highlight on the problems, actually, what are the problems that this region is facing actually?
Yeah, so as you know that you see the Chinese dominations are increasing On the one hand, you see that okay, China is having problem with Japan, ASEANs, then South Korea, Vietnam, and then you see that India is facing challenge from Chinese. There in Hamadatha port also now taken over by Chinese. So there are certain issues, security issues India is facing. And what I personally believe is that okay, you see China is far ahead of India. So in terms of economy, in terms of their security or military establishment. So India is facing very close challenge from China in terms of economic growth. You see that India is having a policy of neighborhood first policy, but today you see what is the present scenario in our neighborhood. One side, Nepal political instability is going on. On the other hand, you can see that what is happening in Sri Lanka, and the present situation there in Afghanistan also giving a very big challenge to India, how to move with Afghanistan. That also a very big challenge, and that economic prosperity also because China is mostly dominating everywhere in the world. So where India is today, where India stands, that exactly is a big challenge. And apart from this, okay, security threat is always there from China side. So that's why India is now looking for a kind of club or forum where India also can show its power and India can project its power to the world, and India can also India also can show its presence all over the regions. That's why you see that when joint military exercises are taking place in South China Sea or in Indian oceans, that itself is giving a very clear-cut signal to the China and to the world that in these particular regions, that Indo-Pacific is not only for casuals. This region is particularly for peace, stability, and prosperity and inclusive policy. We can understand this thing very clearly when if you see the statement of our external affairs minister is Jaishankar. He made a joint statement when Mike Pompeo came to Delhi. That time he made a very clear-cut strategy of India, because see this particularly this Accord, whatever we are talking about, Accord is not just for countering China. India's stand is very much clear. What Jaishankar said, I quote, on the Indo-Pacific, the big point I made was that the Indo-Pacific is for something, not against somebody. And that something is peace, security, stability, prosperity, and rules. So from this statement, we can understand that what are the challenges we are facing and what is our stand particularly in this region. So whereas you can see that Russia and China, they never use the term Indo-Pacific anywhere so far. It is like a very fast, can say on German author used this term particularly in 1920s. Okay, German geopoliticians Karl Puskov, okay, first used Indo-Pacific realm. So in 1920s, and then second, you can see that okay, one of our naval officers, Gurpreet Khurana, he used this term, okay, Indo-Pacific, in his article. In that article, security of sea lanes, okay, prosperity of Indo-Japan cooperation in 2007. And then you see in 2007, in Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe took this particular term, that Indo-Pacific, and so far so many scholars and others are using this term. And then again it reboosted. 26 June 2007, while Modi visited the White House, that time again this Accord been revived and given again boosted. So from all this, okay, you can understand what are the problems we are facing in this region and why India is joining with the club. But India's vision and standpoint is very clear, and that is Jaishankar Ministry of External Affairs made very clear. So over to you.
So, sir, as it is evident that this region is very important for India in terms of securing her national interest. So, sir, except if, sir, if we look that, sir, except what, sir, what are the strategies that India has already initiated to secure this region to secure this region strategically? And sir, what are the strategies of India in this region to counter the rise of China or to secure its national, to secure her national interest?
That's very good. Actually, you see today, it is not only Quad. Quad is it is a military alignment, security alignment, quadrilateral security dialogue. And on the other hand, you can see that BIMSTEC is one of the initiative by India, and that BIMSTEC is now more or less, okay, I can say it is partially or highly successful because India is able to exclude Pakistan in that group, and that grouping is again it is I can say that byproduct of SHARC. SHARC is now becoming more. It is not now effective much because of Pakistan's policy. So India has taken another initiative of BIMSTEC through which corporations is increasing, and you see that ASEAN countries also now involving slowly with India's vision. So because of Chinese threat from Chinese threats, because it's all small countries, they cannot all together or single-handedly they cannot challenge the Chinese dominance in the region. So they need a power like India or Japan and Australia. So, and on the other hand, you can see today in Indian Ocean, Andaman Nicobar Island is one of the biggest plus point for India, through which India is in a position to capture or to monitor the entire Indian oceans and what are the initiative China is taking or India is keeping very close eye on that islands. And I believe, and when I was having some discussions with certain security personnel in Andaman Nicobar Islands, okay, I was told that now India is trying to set up the supersonic radars and other kind of military establishments so that they can in any kind of problems from China or any kind of war type situations, in that condition India can tackle the situations. And on the other hand, that you can see, it is very, Andaman Nicobar Island is very close to your state of Malacca, which is a lifeline for world trade, which I can say. So that India is in a very key position. That's why India, and again on the other hand, India is now able to mobilize the ASEAN support also, because they are also facing so much of problem from China. And what I feel personally that India is having, and not only India, China all together, we are having a very big opportunities in Indo-Pacific. So we need to have cooperation with each other, except rather tussling with each other. But India has taken many other initiatives, like see our military exercises, Milans are taking place, and on the other hand, this Quad is also most of the time we are engaging with big powers military exercises. On the other hand, you see now people-to-people contact also India is trying to increase, and India is trying to realize this Act-East policy not only through northeast region of India. It is through Andaman Nicobar also can play a very major role in terms of India's vision of Act-East policy. So that also we can bring into. And on the other hand, you see now India has initiated or given allotted money for deep sea fishing. So because if you see, fishermen is the primary, they can provide the primary information of any kind of interventions are taking place. So Indian Navy and Indian dry commands are available there in Andaman. That is the only one place in whole India tri-commands is set up there in Andaman Nicobar to tackle such type of situation. And fishermen, so the Indian Navy and others, they are giving very good training to the fishermen of Andaman Nicobar coastal area, so that they can also play a very major role. And India is having again plan to increase the tourism and other sector, and India is now developing infrastructures there in Andaman Nicobar Islands, so that any kind of problems that India will be in a position to tackle with. So that only one initiative that is in Andaman Nicobar. On the other hand, you can see that now modernizing of our military establishment is going on, and then your cooperations with USA, Japan, and Australia is another side that India is now going with, so that any kind of security lapses can be taken care of in the region. And because of its geographical locations, India is having a positive side, and Chinese threat is India very easily can take off and can retaliate. So in the region.
Sir, my next question to you will be regarding Quad. Sir, how far this mechanism of Quad has been successful in countering China in this Indo-Pacific region?
See, the Quad is mainly it is a quadrilateral security dialogues. Okay, so but different people are different regions, different countries are using in a different perspectives. So as I told you that our foreign minister, he very clearly he mentioned, and he has given the what exactly Indo-Pacific is all together, and this Quad is only not for countering China. So today you see that China, the US dominance all over the world is challenging by the China. So it is not India that facing challenge from China. It is a challenge to the US dominance in the world China is imposing. So today, and in the South China Sea, most of the trades are taking place, and Donald Trump also said very clearly that America also yet a Pacific country, because most of the trades are taking place through South China Sea and then this region. So whether it is successful or not, but for India, obviously it is okay. I can say that it is a very good club. So because of India's infrastructure and military, the infrastructure is not at par of China. So showing its presence or presence all over the regions, you need to have the exercises, and India is doing exercises through which India is showing its presence all over, and that is a kind of psychologically you are creating certain pressure on China. But basically, what happened is that India's standpoint is more inclusive rather than exclusive. So, but US is making it very clear that this club is for a challenge to the China, because that China has dented so much to US dominance in the world. But India is what I believe is partially very much successful, because India's military or naval, whatever we are having naval power, that is not enough in terms of showing it all presence all over. So in that club, when they're doing certain military exercises and other kind of exercises are going on, that time India is able to show its presence all over. That is actually working a kind of a psychological pressure India is able to create on China. So that in a way, Quad is successful. And one thing I want to say here, that today US has formed this group and India is part of this. It is an opportunity for India. But on the other hand, if any national interest, it is US is trying to fulfill its national interest in terms of it, keep its dominance all over the world. So whereas India's standpoint is that, okay, we can negotiate, we can have prosperity and all this in the region. So that itself very clearly giving signal that we are not the puppet of US, and we are ready to cooperate, and we need peace in the region. So on the one hand, it is very Quad is successful, but India must be very careful whenever whenever we are giving any kind of statement. And it is very, very appreciable that our foreign minister has given very clear-cut idea about this particularly about this clubbing. So which is not against of anybody, which is not against of China. It is for our own prosperity. So that is it.
Sir, my next question will be regarding, as you have already mentioned, that we can see that USA is also very much interested in this region. So, sir,
Yes.
sir, as a result of this, uh, what do you think that is there any is it harming India and China's relation? Is as India is a part of Quad, and do you think that this is harming India and China's relation?
It is I didn't get you. It is whether can you
Sir,
clear it?
yeah,
Your voice is
sir, I'm asking is that, sir, as India is part of Quad, and we can see that USA is using India in this region to counter China also. So, sir, how this is going to affect India and China's relation?
it is it is no one way it is affecting, but on the other hand, if you see the trade between India and China is always high. So on the trade deficit from India's side is also very high. So India must try to challenge in that way, trade wise, not in the military wise. That I believe. So because you see, the Chinese vision is, that every single person in the world, when they're walking around, on goods or on the made in China goods should be in their pocket. That is their vision. Whose vision? It is China's vision. And whether India can meet with that vision? First of all, that is a big question. And we must focus on that. And if you focus on that, then whatever challenges we are facing domestically and then internationally also, and trade deficit we can reduce. And then we can, we can be the equal partner rather than, all the time we are receiving lots of huge amount of goods from China all the time, and trade deficit is again always in the minus. So we have to change reorient our vision in terms of countering China. It is China. I don't think is a very big threat for India in the present day, but it is a very big threat for China. And seems when you see if you see the Department of Military of US, their vision statement they release every year. In that, if you read that reports and all, you can see that all the time that whenever they are mentioning Indo-Pacific, they are just targeting China. But whenever India is using the term Indo-Pacific, it is not targeting China. This again, PM Modi also given a very clear statement through which we can understand that the Indo-Pacific is a natural region. Okay, so it is also home to a vast area of global opportunity and challenges. You can understand this Modi 2018 Prime Minister Modi has given this statement. So it is that we must explore the opportunity and what are the challenges that only we should jointly we should tackle with, rather than just countering China everywhere. And obviously, the vision of China is very clear, and whether we are in a position to meet that vision, that we have to see. And if not, then what we can do, that only we have to see. That today, trade-wise, China is everywhere in the world. Either it is in Africa, or it is in Australia, or Europe, Japan, or any other Latin American country. And in South Asia, you see. everywhere. So India must give challenge in that way, not on the other way of military challenges all the time. Definitely, okay, that military modernization, India should go ahead. But on the other hand, our manufacturing sectors we should look after, so that in world also we can make our presence all over in terms of trade and commerce.
Sir, now, sir, I will ask you a question, and it is from the student's point of view. Sir, what kind of questions they can expect in examinations on this topic particularly? What kind of questions the students can expect?
Yeah, that is okay. The very basic question first, it can be that we also discussed very early. So, why this why this region now, shift from Asia Pacific to Indo-Pacific? What is this terminology all about? And whether this terminology has brought any changes, strategic changes in the world, or whether this terminology is only helping only to fulfill the US interest in the region, or it is altogether a collectively helping all the regions. So that one question may be asked from anybody. So this terminology, change of terminology, it is just a mind game. So whether this terminology brought any changes in the region or not. So first, that may be the question. And second, that okay, should have whether what are the initiative India has taken so far in terms of countering the Chinese intervention in the subcontinent, and then the policy of depth policy in that how India can tackle with this. And whereas India's policy is a neighborhood policy, in that how far India is successful in terms of its policy of neighborhood first policy. And another question may be asked that regarding Actist policy, how far this Actist policy is successful for India, and whether this Actist policy policy will help to bring the ASEANs very closer to India or not. That also another question may be asked by anybody. And then what is the geostrategic importance of this region? That also another question may asked by any examiner maybe. So there may be certain other questions like India's maritime security, India's maritime security, maybe another question, and how India is going to strengthen its maritime security, and what are the modernizations are taking place in Indian Oceans from India side, and whether India in a position to tackle all sort of challenges, military challenges, particularly from China. Over to you.
Yeah, sir, there was, I think, sir, if you can repeat the last two questions, because there was some network issues, I think it got disconnected. So, sir, if you can please repeat the last two questions.
Last two questions. Okay, I asked that. Yeah. So far, the India's okay. We can say that okay. Maybe ask a question of comparative naval organizations of China and other Asian countries and India. What are the so far? What initiative India has taken in terms of modernizing its the maritime security, and on other thing is another question may be asked that whether in future India will become if this Quad is US brainchild. So India will be in the trap of this brainchild of USA, or what would be the India's foreseeable future and strategy? That may be also asked. And then another question may be asked regarding Andaman Nicobar Islands. How far these islands are important for India's strategically, how these islands are important for India. That also may be another question may be asked, because now you see Andaman is becoming a very very hot topic everywhere. Wherever you go and talking about India's maritime security or Asia Pacific, Andaman Nicobar is one of the another area people are talking about, and obviously BIMSTEC and these two, BIMSTEC and Quad, whether there will be any kind of clash of these two, or whether India will be in a position ASEAN, BIMSTEC and very consulate there in Bangladesh has given a if Bangladesh join with Quad, then they have to face a very their relation, Bangladesh and China relation, which will be in disturbance. So, and then on the other hand, that Bangladesh counterpart has given a very clear answer that we are a sovereign country. We know what to do and what would be our foreign policy. So in future, how this region is going to behave, that also may be a hypothetical question.
So my last question to you is regarding the books. Sir, what are the books that the students they can study in order to explore more about this topic?
Yeah, there are certain edited volume and certain articles and all. Now, what do you mean?
Yeah.
So another one I was saying that it is from Delhi Policy Group. Okay, they regularly they come out with certain reports and certain kind of articles and books. So one is H.K. Singh and Saigal A. 2018 on report on the it is published that the Indo-Pacific, realist Indian perspectives, that also can see, and 2017 also another book is there, M. Saib 2017, from the Asia Pacific to Indo-Pacific, expanding Sino-US strategic competition. It is a China. It is an article, China Quarterly of International Strategic Studies. They have published it. That also they can, the student can see. And then you can see that another book by S.D. Mooney and V. Chanda, Asian Strategic Review 2014, US Pivots and Asian Security. That is New Delhi Institute of Defense Strategy Analysis, they have published it. That also a student can see. And Professor S.D. Mooney, some other works also there, they can, the student can refer that one. And then some books of the Professor Deepak Bali. He's a Chinese study professor in JNU. He has also written some books on, particularly on China and Indo-Pacific. So that book also student can refer. And then again on some other books also, if I say that is Harley GD 2013, it's published, Australian Military Expand in Indo-Pacific. That also it is an edited volume. Student can, it is available online, so student can get access of this. And then another book is A. Gupta 2018, August 2018 published this one, India's Island Diplomacy, Building an Indian Ocean Security Architecture. So this also online available, so student can see this book. And there are many other articles also in that also can student can refer. That is Abe MS 2007, Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Japan. They have published this one. Uh, Confluence of the two seas. Speech that is a very much okay, that is a speech, and that is compiled by external minister, Mr. Shinzo. That is a speech by Japanese Prime Minister actually, Shinzo Abe. That in the Parliament of India 2007, he has given a very big speech on that particular 2007 only. He used the term Indo-Pacific in Indian Parliament. So that Prime Minister's Shinzo Abe's speech also student can refer, and they will get so many things from that. So I think these are the things that a student can refer. Or anything you want me to say?
Sir, thank you so much for your time, and for sir, we are really thankful to you for that. So with this, today we'll end our program. I will request all the audiences and the research scholars, professors, and students who are watching this video. You please subscribe to the YouTube channel of Bengal Institute of Political Studies for more videos on understanding political science through discussions and deliberations. So with this, we are ending today's program. Thank you, everyone.